situation in the Middle East with regard to the Iranian nuclear sites being bombed, Trump administration bombing, the latest bombing run. It is almost, I can say with almost a certainty that regardless of what happens in the short and the medium term, but in the long term, Iran is without a doubt going to acquire nuclear weapons. It doesn't take very much for them to go from being capable and then to actually going into the phase of acquiring nuclear weapons. We saw this with Pakistan and India, where they went through the similar phase. They were at a point at one time, all the intels of the world were watching them, and they were at the phase where they were at the threshold, and then they crossed that line very quickly. So, in my personal analysis, after looking at all the various news that's coming out, some saying that there is a possibility that whatever was there in those sites was destroyed. Personally, I don't think Iran is that stupid. And when you telegraph all these moves, like, well, in 2 weeks, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. 2 weeks. That's virtually giving them quite a bit of time to move their equipment, all their from the areas that we were about to bomb. It gave them plenty of time, is what I'm saying. So if anyone thinks that, well, this was a decent hit, no one can say for certain. Of course, I am not privy to any intel, but I could tell you that it's not a guarantee that anything was destroyed. Yes, I'm sure the bunker busters did a pretty extensive job there, because that's that we can say with a certainty, right? That something was definitely struck. So when you listen to all the different analysis post the Iranian strike, you can tell that no one really knows. Everyone is assuming. Even the military said, we think that quite a bit of damage was done. But they're not certain. Of course, they will never be 100% because you are looking at assets, or they're looking at it through satellite, other technologies that I'm sure our intel has, to be able to ascertain whether the damage was extensive or it was, they missed a few things. But I can say with certainty that Iran was fully aware of this strike. It could tell by the tone coming out of Washington that they were going to get hit pretty quickly here. And in my opinion, I think they had time to move whatever it is that they needed to move with regards to their weapons technology and the underground facility, and I'm pretty sure that it was taken care of ahead of time. So that's it. As far as the short and medium term, we're not going to really know exactly what happened, but long term, I can say with, in my opinion, in long term, I can almost say with certainty that Iran would acquire nuclear weapons technology, and as a result of that, Saudi Arabia will also pursue that, and they would also become nuclear capable, whether it's 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road. But till this point, we hadn't crossed that threshold yet of actually bombing, um, a. I know we don't agree with Iran on a lot of things, and the theocratic regime there is kind of always on assuming the posture against us. But we can um, we just expedited their process is what we did. I didn't agree with the timing. I did agree um, um, with what they did, but I didn't agree with the timing. I don't think that's a very good timing, in my opinion. And I think it could. Time will tell when we're looking at um, the damage and the extent of the damage and what Iran does after that. So there is, there is no guarantees here. Naturally, Donald Trump and not just Donald Trump, but the Trump administration claimed that they had destroyed quite a bit, but they don't know for certain, of course, how much. So that said, I think it is a certainty that Iran will acquire nuclear weapons technology down the road, even if it's 5, 10 years down the road. I think it'll be sooner. But um, they know now that that uh, threatens the regime, and in order for them to hold on to power, they're going to have to follow what others did. As an example, they're looking at North Korea. Um, Bill Clinton had the plans to bomb them, and Jimmy Carter intervened, and he said, "Well, let me go out there and see if I can talk Kim Jong Un's father at that time uh, to step aside and to dismantle their nuclear weapons technology program." And we saw how that worked out. Currently, North Korea has quite a few nuclear weapons. So, and same thing with Pakistan, same with India. Um, there's 9 nuclear nations, and I think Iran will become the 10th in due time. And then Saudi Arabia will follow suit because they're not going to have a neighbor, a direct neighbor, such as Iran with nuclear weapons, and they don't have anything to defend themselves. And typically, these things go exactly the way I'm describing. It will cause a chain reaction in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia is the only one I see that is probably capable of pursuing it and actually acquiring it. And they may even have the blessing of the West and NATO, because at that point they are being threatened by a neighbor that could use that not to um, drop anything on Saudi Arabia, but as a way to negotiate. So that said, I think we're looking at a short-term kind of a quiet mode there. In the medium term, you'll see some rattling from coming out of Tehran, and between 5 to 10 years, it's almost a certainty that Iran will get it if they haven't actually succeeded in it yet, which no one really knows. We kept hearing that they were working on it, they're very close to it. Of course, the Israelis were saying that for years, that, oh, they're few months away from it. But as far as my own analysis, and looking at all the various information coming out of the uh, current administration, the previous ones, and the previous administration, I can tell that this was an okay thing, but to just bomb them is to alert them that we are definitely threatening the regime. So if it was an all-out invasion, that would be a completely different story. But uh, surgically striking a sovereign nation, you can pretty much assume at that point that they're going to take a different posture within a few years from now. So, and I think I'll leave it at that, and we'll continue